What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the days go by, you can just tell Call of Duty is shaking in their boots more and more and more. And now we have some more information for you guys that I think is going to absolutely blow your minds. And I'm very curious if this will be enough to kind of, change the opinions of a lot of you guys on wanting to go ahead and purchase Black Ops 7. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you stay notified on everything on this channel. I double upload here at 8 a.m. and also 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you guys want to check out my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. By all means, you can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, as I stated, today's video is going to be about a very crucial topic, and that is skill-based matchmaking and also disbanding lobbies. But before we dive deep into that, I do have another thing to showcase to you guys that also shows the desperation of Activision to try to bring back as many fans as possible. As you can see right here from Call of Duty Wire, breaking. First look at the updated Black Ops 7 Vault Edition operator skins. And yes, indeed, they finally redid all of the Vault Edition skins. I'm going to show you a before and after comparison, and I'll be real, the after comparison looks tremendously better than the before comparison. Absolutely 1010%. You can hate on it as much as you want. I'm not saying Call of Duty is going to be back. I'm not saying they absolutely changed everything about the franchise. I'm just saying that we asked for more grounded looking skins and cosmetics, and they simply delivered. And this would have never happened, as I stated a million times before, without the assistance of Battlefield 6 being a competitor within the FPS scene. They never do this. Never. And out of the blue, they're deciding that now is the time that they have to actually, step their game up and listen to the overall community. We've been asking for grounded skins for 5 years now. Like, why won't they listen to us before? Nothing else makes sense to me besides the fact that competition is finally in the scene, and they are shivering in their frickin' boots and are nervous that if they don't step their game up, they're going to lose more people as the days go on. Now, I will say, the only one that doesn't really look like it changed that much is the robot, but I mean, the robot didn't even look bad in the first place. But all the other operators, yes, they look massively better. I gotta give them a thumb up for this one. Not 2 thumbs up. I'll just give them a singular thumb up because, honestly, they shouldn't even have to go ahead and revamp these things, This shouldn't be praised. This shouldn't be celebrated. This should be mandatory. This should be the norm for the Call of Duty experience, and the fact that we have to beg for this, and a lot of people have to threaten leaving the franchise in order for them to, do this is unacceptable. And also, this is hilarious to me, but on top of the Vault Edition skins that are in the game, they went ahead, as you can see right here from Charlie Intel, and kept the old TED skin as well. Black Ops 7 Vault Edition now includes 2 TED skins. This is the second one, TED Service Supreme. So basically, for all of those who are a little disappointed that they changed up the TED skin and it looks a little too gritty and zombified now, you can have the base version of the skin. They still, changed it up a bit to make it look a bit more clean, and I like it a lot more than the base version. But if you want this version still, you'll be able to have access to it. Just another reason to showcase to everyone that they are desperate. Tell me one time, I swear, tell me one time that Activision actually gave 2 versions of the skins that, in the Vault Edition. I understand that people are going to say, well, they changed the Vault Edition, so it's only right that they give you all the content that they, offered because, they showcased it before, people pre-ordered it, and then they stripped all that content and changed it around. So people who pre-ordered it before, who wanted that content, they're kind of screwed, right? So it makes sense that they went ahead and added in the second version of TED, but I'm just saying, Activision doesn't give a crap about that. Do you think that their morals are that good, that they care about people who pre-ordered ahead of time, before they changed up the skins? No, they don't care. Again, the only reason this is happening is because competition is in the scene, and they need to do everything in their power to make sure they can cling on to every last person who is still hanging in within the Call of Duty franchise. But as I stated, this is nothing compared to what I'm about to showcase to you all. This is by the Ghost of Hope. Very big grain of salt leak, so keep in mind, nothing is confirmed just yet, but they are discussing this behind the scenes. Treyarch developers are currently pushing to remove disbanding lobbies from Black Ops 7. Guys, I mean, seriously, do I even need to say anything else? I understand that the matchmaking will probably not be adjusted. Let's be real here. They want to make sure that all of the people who are in the lower brackets continuously get their hands held and never witness what any other, skilled player is worth within the game. That's the toxic trait of Call of Duty. And it's hilarious because if a Call of Duty player goes to any other environment like X-Defiant, Battlefield, Splitgate, they have the worst of times because they're actually exposed to what good players are like instead of being, hidden in a secret bracket of their lower tiered, peers, I guess. I'm not trying to even be mean here. I'm not. It doesn't matter if you want to be good at a game. Not everybody prioritizes that. And let's be honest, in the real world, that's probably the least of your worries to prioritize being outstanding at a video game. But I will say, they have been coddled so dang long that anytime they see anybody that is like a centimeter better than them, they absolutely freak out and throw the biggest fit. So yeah, I don't know if skill-based matchmaking is going to go anywhere because they have been coddling these people for too long, and if they were to go ahead and remove the matchmaking bracket that they currently have in place, there will be a lot of pissed individuals, and the proof is literally looking at any other game out there that has a looser matchmaking system. People, the COD fans just hate it. They can't handle being put against pretty much everybody out there, having it be an open matchmaking experience. Doesn't matter who you go up against. Ping is king. You get the best connection lobbies. That's it. Sadly, that's not the case. A lot of people will be having panic attacks, so I don't think that's going anywhere. But having non-disbanding lobbies might be one of the best changes Call of Duty will see in a very long time. Because this means when you do get a good lobby, a good session, a fun session, you don't have to be removed. This has been a problem since frickin' Modern Warfare 2019 that this community has been begging for ages here. And you're telling me it took 5-6 plus frickin' years to have Activision finally acknowledge the potential, the possibility of removing disbanding lobbies. Again, I don't know what else to pin it on. Besides, there's competition in the scene, and Activision is nervous and they're frantically trying to find ways to improve their overall audience and get people to come on back. And I know that opinion always pisses people off. People are driven crazy off of me saying this. But seriously, what else is it? Please, I would love for you to go down in the comment section and tell me, why is Activision doing this? Why did they ignore us for 5 years? And then now, out of all the time in the world, they decide to do so. Please, I would love to hear other opinions. If you could shed some light on me on why Activision is being friendly to us, I would love that. I would love to have different reasons and different things to discuss, but I cannot genuinely think of any other reason besides Battlefield 6 is absolutely kicking butt within the FPS space, and they need to do something about it. They can no longer abuse the community the way they did, because guess what? That community now has somewhere else to go. I stated time and time again that there's other games out there that I personally enjoy, but for the massive overall, gaming community out there, especially the casuals, you have to keep in mind, we are irrelevant. All of us watching this video, it doesn't matter if you're an amazing player, a casual player, or in between. If you are watching this video right now, you are in the bottom 5% of people who are playing these games, okay? There's still 95% more people out there who don't even interact with social media. They are the ones that matter, and they don't want to play other, different types of smaller games. Stuff like X-Defiant, Splitgate, Insurgency Sandstorm, all these other games, they don't want to play. They want to play the AAA big dogs. Battlefield 2042 flopped. It was a failure. Halo Infinite, let's be honest here, didn't really do much at launch because there was no content. Now we have a true competitor, and now those players, the 95% of casuals out there who don't care about all this online crap, they have somewhere else to go, and Activision knows this. There's nowhere else for them to hide. There's no more ways that they can abuse us. People have alternatives, okay? I just find it hilarious. I personally do. But this is my question to all of you guys. Is removing disbanding lobbies good enough for you to, come back into the Call of Duty scene? Or is this not good enough? Personally, I don't know how to feel about this because removing disbanding lobbies is huge for COD. One of the main things that, gave COD its identity was the fact that it was like a community, You hop into lobbies, you get into beefs, you get into, friendships, and you stick into games and enjoy the vibes. If someone talks crap, they can't just run. And nowadays, that's the case. It's so pathetic. We have boiled down to the point where people won't talk crap until the final 5 seconds of the end game screen because they know they're going to get removed from the game and they won't ever have to get any consequences. They won't have to hear anything back. They won't have to beef with anybody. They could just talk a bunch of crap, leave, and never see them again. Like, honestly, disbanding lobbies have raised the biggest group of... I want to say the P word, but again, I don't want to get, any problems with YouTube. I'm just going to call them the biggest group of losers you could ever witness. Back in the day, you would have long-lasting beefs. I mean, beefs that would go for like 5, 6, 7, 8 matches hours and hours and hours on end competing with the same people. Some of my best friendships I've ever had came from long-lasting beefs within the Call of Duty experience and having non-disbanding lobbies, forcing us right back into the same experience. And if you left, guess what? Everybody's going to message you and call you a loser. So the majority of the time, people stuck in. They kept going with the beefs. They engaged with one another. And as I stated, that built some of my strongest friendships I've ever had in online gaming. It's a huge thing. To say otherwise is false. You're lying. This is absolutely massive for Call of Duty to remove disbanding lobbies. But again, my question is this enough? I feel like skill-based matchmaking will never be improved whatsoever. But will this feature allow us to truly enjoy Call of Duty? Would this actually convince you to purchase into BO7? For me personally, I'm kind of on the edge because this was one of the things for me. My biggest problems were matchmaking, the servers, and also the anti-cheat. The servers might be switched up soon. I'm assuming they're going to be switching over to Microsoft servers at any moment. And I have no clue when it's going to happen, but that will improve the overall experience. Anti-cheat's still absolute garbage, so I don't know when that's going to be improved. But the matchmaking is a big one, and disbanding lobbies, I've mentioned 1,000 times in the past, will make it more lenient. It will make the matchmaking less stressful. I don't know how to feel about this one. I genuinely don't, and I want to see what the overall community out there thinks about this, because I think that seeing all of your opinions will truly put into perspective if this is enough to, rebuild the relationship with Activision and the overall audience. And it's so sad because Treyarch has to fight for this, It's like, and I know everybody's going to pin it on Treyarch and everybody's going to say Treyarch is, horrible for having these systems in place, but it's not them, guys. It's Activision, okay? And Treyarch can fight as much as they want, but if at the end of the day, Activision doesn't want it, it's not going to be implemented, which is why the Ghost of Hope said, take it with, a grain of salt. You never know. It might happen, it might not. But regardless, I would still love to hear your opinions down below. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And we also double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Pretty much anything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, Gears of War, pretty much any shooter that kind of sparks my interest, I go ahead and discuss on this channel. So subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I can link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.